welcome to Cardinal Film Fights, your one-stop shop for Cardinal Film Fights. I'm your beautiful and lovely host, Stephen Mason, and I also serve as judge. Not Judy, just Mason. Here at Cardinal Film Fights, we like our opinions, and we also like movies, and we also like movie opinions. Therefore, we set up a system in which fighters come from all around Ball State to compete about movie opinions. Our format is 1 minute will be devoted to opening statements on a given topic. The next 5 minutes will be given to defend their opinions in an all-out battle royale. And the 30 seconds for each fighter will be given to defend their statements. So, who are you people? Give us your name, social security number, mother's maiden name, your dog's name, or just give us your name, major, place of birth, and a boring fact about yourself.
All right, well, hello, I'm Ben Nelson. I'm a sophomore here at Ball State. My major is TCOM, and one boring thing is I like NASCAR.
A boring thing indeed. Next.
My name is Noah Allen. I'm a freshman TCOM major. Was where we were.
The whole spiel.
Oh, okay. Was it where we were born at?
No, you don't have
Okay.
to do that.
And then one boring fact about me is that I don't know. I guess I'm just a boring guy.
That was boring. Good job. You win.
Thank you.
And we'll finish it off with Ben.
My name is Ben Bartlett. My major is telecommunications, and one boring fact about me is I don't even care what kind of fun will be given to me if I ever join any frat houses.
I think we can all feel that some way. So, Stanley Kubrick. He was a film director in the 70s and 80s and died in the 90s. Rest in peace. He had a variety of movies, famous for a lot of them, famous for not so many of them otherwise. And I know that all of you are going to defend your opinions. So let's get right into that, and we'll start with Noah.
So I chose Full Metal Jacket. It's a movie about the war in Vietnam, and it shows the realism behind what actually went down in Vietnam, from boot camp to actual fighting in the jungles of Vietnam. I think this is one of Kubrick's, is that how you say it? Kubrick's best movies, because this is kind of his comeback movie. He had a 7-year hiatus before he made this film, so I think this is his comeback film, and I mean, it's a great movie. And, go watch it. Go enjoy it.
A Full Metal opinion for Full Metal Jacket. And next is this bin right here.
All right, so my favorite Stanley Kubrick movie has got to be, by far and away, 2001: A Space Odyssey. This is the movie that redefined, or if not just defined in general, the sci-fi genre. Like its influence is still felt today, with by far an amazing cast. The studio production is top notch. It basically broke the glass ceiling in terms of practical effects, and it has by far the best, and I would argue the single most intimidating villain in film history, with HAL 9000. With that monotone voice and absolute AI intelligence, having no emotions at all, he will kill you without a second thought, and he won't want to, but he knows he will have to. And when he has to, he will.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't move on to the next contestant. Except I can. Screw you, Hal. Ben, take it away.
Oh, to me, the best Stanley Kubrick film that it was introduced to me from my father, it would have to be Dr. Strangelove. Now, in some ways, it could be a comedy, but it also teaches how to stay calm and to accept that there would be a nuclear war, that there could be a nuclear war. I mean, this was during the Cold War back then, but you know, it also there was more to the title, How to Love a Bomb, but mostly I just think of it as more of a try to stay calm because of all this Cold War, all this nuclear war talk in some ways, but it's a way to stay calm and to laugh with the actors.
Still relevant today. The best movies do that. So, without further ado, kill each other. Go right ahead.
Well, I will kill you systematically and without second thought, just like the main villain. But basically, both of your stories are about wars, but wars fought by humans, for humans. It's human versus human. This is a future where war may not be around anymore because humans might not be around anymore. If this guy actually gets control of the world security, national security, but like if the internet was around back then, if he was alive, every single human would basically perish within a matter of months if we had that long. But like this, it is a foretelling of what AI could do to the human race if it ever allows to spread and flourish.
Full Metal Jacket won a couple awards, Best Director, Best Producer for a Foreign Film, Director of the Year, and then was nominated for a Golden Globes Best Performance by an Actor in a Support Role, which was the drill sergeant in the beginning scene. And Full Metal Jacket is, I mean, yeah, it's about war, and yours is about humans versus technology. But Full Metal Jacket shows the realism of Vietnam, which I think that's what makes it great, is because it shows that realism from the boot camp, from the drill sergeant yelling at everybody, and just the training the people had to go through during that time, to the actual fighting in the Vietnam jungles that took place, and all the killing and just all of it together just shows how bad war really is, and how it affects people.
Personally, I've seen almost every Stanley Kubrick film, and not one I think they're terrible, especially with both of those movies. But with Dr. Strangelove, not only it has that old actor who plays as Inspector Jacques Clouseau from the Pink Panther, Peter Sellers, but or has James Earl Jones, the voice of Darth Vader. But with this movie, some parts where it shows pilots were about to bomb somewhere in Russia with their nuclear bomb, and it ends with that one guy getting onto the bomb and fell down with the bomb, waving his hat. I don't think that's smart, but mainly, it also has a War Department room where all the generals, the president, and the Russian ambassador just tries to talk things with the Soviet leader, with the Russian ambassador, and let's just say they're just trying to go their own separate ways without any attacks on each other's nations. And my guess is that was trying to hope for peace, but at the end you get to see the Russian ambassador taking photos with his match or his pocket watch, and that's a fear that we all have. But mainly, now that the Cold War has ended, how far have we come?
So, what's the big dividing factor between you all? What makes yours the best of the best?
Well, I honestly think that all three of these are very good stories, but 2001 just goes beyond a very good story. the practical effects in this film are groundbreaking. While those two may have like good effects, especially in Full Metal Jacket, it broke boundaries in 2001. Like especially with that spinning room, I don't think that will be done today without CGI. But like that actually took a very long time for Kubrick to get that mastered and brought that to film. That was never done before, and I don't think that has hardly been done today.
Personally, I think with all the movies that he made, you may think he would go genre, but no. But I think even with Dr. Strangelove, it deals with dark side of human nature, and Dr. Strangelove seems to be one of those that is the best and funny.
Also, the soundtrack is still referenced to this day.
All right, closing statements. We'll go Noah first. Go right ahead.
So Full Metal Jacket is Kubrick's best film, I believe, because he made it after, I said earlier, coming off that 7-year hiatus, and it got really great reviews. It got a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has an 8.3 out of 10 on IMDb. It shows the movie. Ran out of time again.
Happens to us all. Bartlett, take it away.
Well, I believe Dr. Strangelove in a closing statement is just purely brilliant, and especially for being one of his early films, like after Lolita, The Killing, so on and so forth. But with Dr. Strangelove, I just think it was brilliant, even with the theme on its story.
I do indeed love the bomb. And we'll finish it with Nelson here.
All right, now 2001 is just a full, complete film. It not only does it have one of the best stories ever written, not only does it have one of the best villains ever written, but also its practical effects, like I said, are groundbreaking. That spinning room took a long time to master, not to mention all that zero gravity on the set. That was not done by CGI. None of it could be. And like I said, the soundtrack is still a masterpiece to this day. People still look it up even after all these years. It is just a full, complete film.
All right. Fact checkers, what do we got?
Looks good.
Everything spick and span as my car windshield. So, I'm going to give second place first. I'm going to give that to Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. You brought in the fact that it remains relevant today, and it feels like the Cold War hasn't really ended, and that Kubrick's direction gave it a really beautiful shine. And yeah, good movie. Convinced me that it was good. Third place, gonna have to give it to Full Metal Jacket. While I think that the grittiness of the Vietnam War that Full Metal Jacket depicts is gritty and is realistic, you kind of just focused on that and give a little bit of awards, but nothing really else. So yeah, third place. Sorry for you. Happens to us all. And so number one is 2001: A Space Odyssey. Not only was it groundbreaking, as you said, but it was also a fantastic movie, both soundtrack-wise and writing-wise. So yeah, 2001. So for recap, third place, Full Metal Jacket at Noah. Second place, Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb with Ben Bartlett. And 2001: A Space Odyssey with Ben Nelson at first. So this has been Cardinal Film Fights. Have a wonderful day, have a wonderful night, and I will see you down in the comment section, or like and subscribe if you want to see my beautiful face even more. Thank you, and don't mock me, please. Good night.